Hi everyone! So this is the first time I've ever done a vlog. I feel quite awkward about doing this, but probably not as awkward as I'm going to feel watching this back. As most of you know, I'm now doing a Masters in Counselling and Psychotherapy, and today I'm going to share with you some of my learning. It was really hard for me to decide which aspect to choose from, as I've learned so much in such a short space of time, but I've hopefully chosen something that will be quite relevant to most people, and some may even find it beneficial. So here goes. So this video is going to be based around self-awareness, which is one of the first steps in the counselling process, helping clients to understand their thoughts and feelings with more clarity. And I found that one of the most effective but simple tools I've used for this is the 5-part model. The 5 parts being situation, thoughts, moods, physical reactions, and behaviours. The connecting arrows show that each of the different parts influences all of the others. For example, a change in our behaviour will influence how we think and how we feel, both physically and emotionally. And likewise, changes in our thinking will affect behaviour, moods, and physical reactions. For the purpose of this video, I will mainly be focusing on thoughts. A really simple example to help explain this would be failing a driving test. That would be your situation. If that person initially thinks, "Oh my God, I'm a failure, I never do anything right," then their moods and physical reactions as a consequence are going to be quite negative. They may be sad, angry, disappointed, they may get hot, flustered and frustrated, and they may avoid taking their driving test again, at least for the near future. In that same situation, if that person thinks, "Oh damn, well it's not the end of the world, at least I can get feedback for next time," then their moods and physical reactions as a consequence won't be so negative. They may still be disappointed, but they'd be a lot more calm, their breathing would be normal, and a behaviour as a consequence, they're more likely to take their driving test again. So after going over that example, we can see that the situation remained exactly the same, but a small change in that person's thinking had a significant impact on all the other areas. Now, I know in reality it's not always that easy just to change your thinking, because thinking can be so automatic, it can be distorted, and sometimes we're not even aware of that. Going back to that person's initial thought of, "I'm a failure, I never do anything right," that's actually what's known as a thinking error. Now, if I've remembered, you should all have a sheet of paper with 12 common thinking errors. I'm going to give you a couple of minutes to have a look over these and see if you can relate to any of them. I remember when I first got given this sheet at uni and I ticked off about 80% of them, and I came away thinking, "Oh my God, I'm just one massive thinking error." But actually, it's been really helpful since then, because now that I'm aware of those, if I'm thinking something that I'm aware is getting me down, I'm able to challenge that thought and think more rationally. I'm able to replace it with something that's more healthy. Once you recognise your thinking errors, you can begin to try and challenge them, look for exceptions to rule out, and gather evidence that your thoughts aren't 100% true. So going back to my initial example of the person failing their driving test and their initial thought being, I'm a failure, I never do anything right. Does failing a driving test really signify that? The goal doesn't need to be to replace a negative thought with an overly idealistic or positive one, but instead replace them with realistic thoughts. Changing the way you think takes a lot of effort initially, but with practice you'll notice big changes. Not just in the way you think, but also in the way that you feel and the way you behave. So in many cases, depression can be caused by negative thinking itself. Dwelling upon those negative thoughts can send us spiralling down into depression. And when we're feeling low or in that negative frame of mind, that's often when these thinking errors arise, which reinforce negative thinking and emotions. However, by repeatedly challenging these thinking errors and replacing them with more reasonable thoughts, they can diminish. Another reason negative thoughts may come up so often is because we give them so much attention. If you keep thinking about them, your brain will think they're important and lock those thoughts in place, resulting in those negative thoughts becoming automatic. If you keep obsessing about negative thoughts, then your mind will automatically be conditioned to bring up more and more, often without your control. Negative thinking can also be a symptom of anxiety, and unfortunately, bad thoughts tend to create more bad thoughts, which just reinforce the anxiety. And with anxiety in particular, these automatic thoughts can often result in avoidant behaviour. Some of the symptoms of anxiety can include feeling sick, rapid heartbeats, sweating, tense muscles. This is actually your body's fight or flight response being activated. The fight or flight response is our body's innate and automatic response that prepares us to either fight or flee from a perceived threatening situation. More specifically, it is a primitive survival instinct to help protect us, which was great back in the caveman days when saber-toothed tigers roamed the earth, but not so helpful to the present day. Flash forward 25,000 years and you are walking around with essentially the same set of internal body parts, only today's saber-toothed tigers consist of rush hour traffic, missing a deadline and paying bills on time. As nice as it would be, we can't always stop negative thoughts from arising completely, but we can learn to control them. For example, if you're doing a presentation and you notice that you're starting to feel anxious and you notice that your thoughts are all negative and you're starting to think of all the possible things that can go wrong, stop and interfere. Don't let those negative thoughts become important. So that's a snapshot of thinking errors, automatic thoughts, and negative thinking. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I guess the main things to take away from it are: be aware of your thoughts and feelings. Are they healthy? If not, interrupt those negative thoughts, challenge them, and find evidence that does not support it, and instead gather evidence for that. The more you do this, the easier it will become until your automatic thoughts are healthy.